Hey everybody, Rob Veno here, WagerTalk.com, WagerTalk TV. Here on Saturday, it's a blank day on the NBA slate, but we're looking ahead to Sunday's matchups. Going to give you a couple of games, couple of selections here, free play with analysis. We're going to look at Detroit at Milwaukee first, and then we'll take a little bit more extensive look at Dallas at Memphis in the second game. Let's get right to the Detroit-Milwaukee game here, guys. Right now, we have no numbers as of this recording. The only game that has a number on it right now is Dallas-Memphis. This one does not. And obviously, it's because of the situation. Let's get to it real quick here. Injury report. Detroit likely to rest their starters. Milwaukee likely to rest their starters. They could give power forward Bobby Portis some extended minutes as he ramps up his game conditioning after being suspended. I think it's like his third game back. But otherwise, you're going to see starters sitting here because both teams locked up their playoff seeds last night. Detroit going to have today off. And for Milwaukee, again, today off. The guys who are going to play probably have plenty of leg and cardio minutes in them. So, there's no advantage here where scheduling is concerned. Games rendered irrelevant because Detroit's locked into the 6-3 matchup. They're going to play at New York in their first round series. New York has home floor advantage. Milwaukee, 5 versus 4. They'll be playing Indiana, who has the home floor advantage in that one. When I took a look at the 7-man rotations that are likely to go here for both of these teams, Milwaukee's got an edge. There's no question about it. They have more experience, depth on their side. They can go 6 deep, even if all 5 starters sit. They can go 7 deep if they allow point guard Ryan Rollins a few minutes in this one. The Pistons can really only go 4 deep after their starters take the bench. Cade's going to sit. Jalen Duren's going to sit. Tobias is going to sit. Most likely, Osar Thompson and Tim Hardaway Jr. sit. So the makeshift lineups, what they do basically is they eliminate all the interior front line rim protection presence and scoring presence inside. Detroit's a hugely strong interior type team. They've been that way all season long, as is Milwaukee when Giannis and Brook Lopez are involved. So all those guys out here, it's basically a game made up of guards and wings. So how can we attack it? Let's take a look. It seems mundane. It seems uninteresting. It seems matter of fact. But 33 years in the business, I've learned if they put a lineup on it, it's worth examining because you could find an edge. In this particular contest, we have to do some guesswork here. So let's start with last night's closer, which was 229.5 with everybody playing in the Detroit-Milwaukee game. Here, I would say odds makers probably shave a great deal off of that 229.5. I'm going to look for this thing to sit somewhere in the 210.5 range when we see an opening number on it. I think this game, you're asking it to go 108, 106 with plenty of backcourt scoring options on the floor. I mean, as decimated as Detroit will be, Schroeder, and Malik Beasley, who actually got into a little beef with Giannis last night. These guys all want to fill it up in a game like this. I think you'll find fast pace. I think you'll find guys who want to score. Again, it's a bunch of guards and wings. So 210.5, if that's what we get, and it's all dependent on the number, I think it's probably too low and deserves a look toward the over. Again, I think this thing could land anywhere in the 108, 106 range, which is 214. That's what I'm going to use as a guideline. That's what I'm going to leave you guys here as a guideline. But we're going to look for a number in that range. If I get 210.5, we're going to go ahead and make a play on the over. So we'll leave you with that. Take a good look at the over, see where the odds makers lay the number and or open the number, and we'll go from there. So that's the Detroit-Milwaukee free play with analysis. We're going to take a look toward over if we get the right number. Let's go ahead and split the games here by giving you some insight as to what is available here at WagerTalk.com as far as special offers are concerned. In this case, I do have an NBA playoff package up and available right now. Sale price, $149. Rest of the season, all the way through the NBA Finals. Regular price here is $225. You're going to save a bunch of money on that. NBA season, and especially the close to these past 2 seasons have been terrific. Last year, we closed the season like a house of fire, picked up a ton of profit. I think near like 34 units in the last couple of months. Here this season, we continue to be on a huge winning streak, 31-8 after including last night's winning night. 79.5% winners over the last 39 games, plus 38.7 units. Go all the way back to December 1st, picked up 58.2 units. So NBA has been strong, and you can get every single play I release throughout the NBA playoff season. You can get every play. It begins right now, so you can get them all tomorrow and right through the play and through the playoff season. Get everything for $149. Again, it's regularly a $225 package. You're going to save about $75 there. Go ahead and contact WagerTalk.com or go to my homepage, wt.buzz/RV. Pick up your playoff season package right now. Once again, huge deal, $149 for the remainder of the season. Let's turn our attention here to Dallas at Memphis, a game where, unlike Detroit and Milwaukee, it's filled with meaning. Injury report here. Spencer Dinwiddie on the Dallas side, questionable. Didn't play his last game because of a knee injury. That could have been more precautionary than substantial. We'll see if Dinwiddie goes here. Dallas does have a whole bunch of guards. They are really relatively healthy now after surviving a bunch of injuries after the trade of Luka Doncic to the Lakers. For Memphis, it's a clean injury report. Brandon Clark has now missed about 11 games. He's out for the season, PCL injury. It has an effect on this one. I really don't bring these things up when a guy's missed such extensive time. And Clark has missed the last 11 games and won't be back. But in this case, he's an interior presence, and that could factor in here. I'll get to that in a minute. Schedule-wise, Dallas had yesterday off. How about this? Dallas has only played, this will only be the third game they've played in the last 8 days. Extremely well-rested are the Mavericks, as opposed to Memphis, which, yeah, they're going to have Saturday off. But it's going to be their third game in 4 days when they host Dallas Sunday. It's going to be their fourth in 6. 4 of those 5 were on the road. And what they just concluded was 3 straight on the road, with the third game being the second of a back-to-back played in altitude in Denver. I think the schedule greatly favors the Dallas Mavericks here in this particular situation. The matchup, let's go over why it's important. For Memphis, the number 7 seed is at stake. They do not control their own destiny. What they need to do is they need to win, and they need the Timberwolves to lose. If that happens, these two teams end in a tie. Memphis wins the tiebreaker. Memphis becomes the 7. The 7's important because in the play-in, you get 2 home games. I mean, if you lose the first home game, you'll get a second chance at home. So 7's important. If, in fact, they fall to 8, because Minnesota should have an easy game against Utah tomorrow. If Memphis winds up as the 8th seed, they'll still have 2 chances to get into the playoffs. Second chance would be at home. First one would be on the road. For Dallas, number 9 seed is in play for them. But again, they don't control their own destiny. Dallas has to win. Sacramento has to lose. Sacramento has Phoenix at home. Sacramento probably wins that game. But if they don't and Dallas wins here, Dallas could sneak into the 9th spot and host Sacramento in a play-in game right off the bat. So the highest they can go is 9. They could possibly go 10. Going to take a look at this matchup, though, because it's pretty intriguing. And again, the importance is there for both. So you're going to get focused efforts out of each side here. But Memphis has been miserable as far as covering the spread is concerned. 5-23, last 28 games. They've covered 19% of their games since the All-Star break. Just horrendous. It's the worst in the NBA. And their biggest advantage offensively on a nightly basis is the fact that they score their points in the paint. 55 points in the paint on average is the second best in the NBA. However, Dallas has all 3 centers back now. They all played last night. You got Anthony Davis. You've got the other 2 bigs, Daniel Gafford and company. So with 3 guys to defend the rim against Memphis's paint attack system, going to be a little bit difficult for them. They won't get totally controlled, but they could get neutralized somewhat in this game. They're also number 8 in fast break points. If you're Dallas looking at this game, you want to stop Memphis at the rim. You want to try and make it a half-court game. Memphis is an improved 3-point shooting team, but you want to live with that. You want to live with Memphis shooting threes. Dallas, the question for them becomes, can they score enough in this venue? And they might be able to, because aside from Memphis not covering spreads at a ridiculously low rate, they haven't played defense whatsoever since the break. I mean, they're 27th in the league, giving up over 119 points per game, almost 120. So the defense has eroded. Their covering ability has eroded. I don't know that you can trust Memphis here. And one last thing I'll throw in is the head coaching matchup. You get Jason Kidd in this instance against the interim head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies. I think you'd like to have Taylor Jenkins at this point, but instead you get Thomas Iserlo, a first-year assistant who came over from Finland and is considered an offensive innovator. But it's his first shot in a game with this type of intensity. I think I'd like my chances with Jason Kidd at head coach here. You're getting 5.5 points. Not saying Dallas will win the game outright, but Memphis hasn't covered anything lately, and Dallas has the fundamental matchups to kind of keep this thing close. I think plus 5.5 is too much, so we're going to go that way with your free play for today on this game. Dallas plus 5.5 Sunday afternoon versus Memphis. On the way out, I'd like to ask everybody to hit the like button. If you like the selections and analysis provided here by WagerTalk handicappers each and every day, go ahead and click like. Click subscribe as we close in on 200,000 subscribers. We're over 199,000 now. Go ahead and push us to that 200,000 mark. If you have a comment on any game on the Sunday board, please drop it in the comment section. I try to get to them as quickly as I can. But for now, this is Rob Veno saying good luck with all your plays. We'll see you next time on WagerTalk TV.